Our cooking program currently has our items turn from raw material to cooked material once you touch the pan, but they are still allowing the user to cook things in the wrong order, right? So we want the bacon to be cooked first, the eggs to be cooked second, and the bread to be cooked last. And that makes sense because if the eggs are cooked before the bacon, there's no oil in the pan. And if the bread is cooked before the eggs, the flavor of the eggs is not in the cooked bread. And also we want the salt set up so that if it touches the pan, you want to say you don't cook salt silly. And so if you notice here, I'm clicked here on the salt sprite, and that's what I did. I said, you don't cook salt silly, right here for the salt. Right? But to make sure that these are cooked in the right order, what we need to do is create a set of variables. So I'm going to make a variable called bacon. Oh my goodness, is it already in use? Oh, okay, I already made them. You see here I made bacon, bread, and eggs. And that's what you should have too. Right? But if you don't have them, then you would just hit make variable and you would type in the variable name here, bacon, and hit OK. But we already have them here. And so what we want to do here is let's go ahead and click on the bacon sprite. And we want to set the bacon to 0. Okay, so that's going to be the starting value of bacon. And we want to go ahead and set our eggs to 0. So I'm going to do that right here when our green flag is clicked. And I'm going to set finally my bread to 0. And so since we want the bacon to be cooked first, we need to add to this condition, right? Where we don't want it to do this unless a certain condition is met. And so what we want to say here is, in addition to touching the pan, we also want eggs to be 0 and bread to be 0. Because if they're 0, that means they still haven't been cooked yet. So let me go ahead and put here under data, I am going to say if eggs is equal to 0 and if bread is equal to 0. Okay, and of course I would need the AND operator. So let me go ahead and put that there. And I would need another AND because I need to also include touching the pan. So I'm going to put touching the pan on the end and eggs equals 0, bread equals 0 on the end. So here we go. And so we go ahead and hit the green flag and I'm going to put my bacon in there. It turns into bacon and glides on down. All right. And so because I need this same condition on all of the rest of my food items, I'm going to open up my backpack. I already have something in here left over. I'm going to hold down shift and click on it to delete it. And I'm going to move this on down. So now when I click on the eggs, I could simply just grab the condition and throw away touching the pan. Just drop it right into the if statement. Right? And here we don't need to check if eggs is equal to 0, right? But we do want to check if bacon is equal to 1. Okay? Because if bacon's equal to 1, that means it's been cooked. I think I forgot to do that over here on bacon, right? So if we cook the bacon, then we want to set bacon to 1, which means it's cooked. And so over here on the eggs, we're going to say if bacon is cooked, if bacon is equal to 1, and bread is not cooked, bread is equal to 0, and the eggs are touching the pan, then we allow the costume to switch and for the message to be sent out and for the eggs to glide on back home. Okay. And so we're going to do this again for the bread. Let me go ahead and take out the condition and I'll put it into the if statement. And again, we don't want to say if bread's equal to 0. We want to say if bacon is cooked is 1 and if the eggs are 1. Okay. And so now if I go ahead and hit the green flag, I try to cook the eggs first and it doesn't let me cook the eggs. Okay. I try to cook the bread, it doesn't let me cook the bread. But if I cook them in the right order, then it lets me cook the bacon first, Then my eggs can be cooked next. And finally my bread. Oh my goodness, is that not working correctly? Oh, I see. I have here the bacon costume, but the eggs don't have a bacon costume. So I'm going to put the right costume on the eggs, and I'm going to put the right costume on the bread. So we're right there. Let me try that again. Hit the green flag. I let my bacon be cooked first, and then I put my eggs on, and then I put my toast on. Oh my goodness, my toast does not want to cook. Why not? Let me check my costume on my bread. Tumblr MD. I'm going to come back to my scripts. Tumblr MD, that's right. So if eggs is equal to 1, let me click on these variables. And bacon's equal to 1. Ooh, so what I didn't do is I didn't change eggs equal to 1 after they were cooked. Right? So let me come back over here to eggs. And I'm going to say inside the if block, if I'm cooking the eggs, I want to set my eggs equal to 1. Okay? And over here for the bread, if my bread is cooked, then of course I want to go ahead and set my bread equal to 1. That's going to come in handy for us later. So let me hit the green flag. I'll cook the bacon first. I'll cook my eggs second. And I will cook my bread last. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and unclick my variables because I don't need to see them anymore. And that's how you get that finished.